Hello everyone. So welcome guys to this manipulating data with talent webinar. I'll be conducting this webinar today for you. So before starting with the webinar, I would like to give a brief introduction about myself. Myself, Arpit, I have around 10 years of experience into data warehousing and business intelligence. I have worked with a couple of ETL tools, databases, business intelligence tools, and would be conducting this webinar for you guys. I would be going through that how you can manipulate data with the talent. I'll be uh, going through the hands-on exercises or the demo that what all features that talent provide and what all we can do. So if you have any questions, keep popping it through the question answers window. We would be having some question answer session at the end of the webinar, but still feel free to post your question as and when it comes to your mind. So I'll be taking some logical breaks in between, and I can address your questions at that point in time. Is it okay? So getting started with the webinar. So in this particular webinar, what you'll learn today, we'll go through that how ETL is complementing Hadoop ecosystem, understand why talent is used with big data, learn big data in months, not in months but in minutes. So there's the biggest advantage with the big data, because if you're planning to learn big data with most of the cases, or with the map reduced programming and everything, it is few months courses, but with the talent it will be done in few minutes. Find out why talent is important for data enthusiasts, understand the use case of banking industry, implement a talent job with Hadoop. So we'll see that how we can implement the talent job use cases that can be resolved with the talent. So we'll be starting with ETL with big data. So there is a common myth. So typical assertion that Hadoop eliminates the need of ETL. There's a common question that comes to everyone's mind. So what no one seems to question in response to this sorts of comment is the name assumption these statements are based on. Is it realistic for most companies to move all their data into Hadoop? Okay, so Hadoop is a big data environment. It is not like it can replace ETL. ETL is still need to happen, but on a larger amount of data, right? So Talent provides an abstraction layer on top of the Hadoop application so that you can extract, transform, and load your data from a uh, load your big data. That is a huge quantity of data, right? And when we talk about that, can everyone implement Hadoop? Can everyone do big data? Yes, but problem is that the basic knowledge of the ETL or the Hadoop knowledge. So that becomes very easy with the Talent big data. Okay, and this is how the basic architecture of the ETL with big data. So we have various data coming in from the various systems. It could be machine data, transaction data, business apps data. You can have your big data layer in between, that is Flume, Scoop, which can extract the data, and on top of that you have your ETL process working on that, and that will load your data into the big data ecosystem. This is how typically a ETL with big data will work. So we have few questions. So is writing ETL scripts in map reduce code is still a ETL? Yes, because map reduce code in itself is a ETL process. Is ETL running faster in few cases and slower in others on Hadoop eliminating the ETL? So no, because any operation that we are doing on the Hadoop, maybe we are using Talend or we are directly writing a map reduce code. So even with the Talend, we are executing a map reduce code on the Hadoop environment. So no, that is not the case. Is introduction of Hadoop changing when, where, and how ETL happens? Yes, because in the traditional ETL process, probably we do it into the we extract data first, and after that we do the transformation. However, with the ETL with the Hadoop, it will change. The question isn't really that are we eliminating ETL, but where does ETL take place, and how are we changing its definition, right? So when we are talking about big data, map reduce programming, high big scripting, yes, we will be doing ETL, But with the ETL, we will be doing the transformation, but it only depends at which layer we are doing the transformation and how easy it becomes. Okay, coming next, why ETL? So as most of you would be aware that ETL is a acronym for the extract, transformation and load, where E, that is extraction, represents the ability to consistently and reliably extract data with high performance and minimal impact to the source system, right? Whereas transformation is whereas T represents the transformation, that is ability to transform one or more data sets into batch or real time into a consumable format, and L represents the loading of data into a persistent and a virtual data source, right? So when we talk about the ETL process, may it be into a big data area or into our traditional data warehouse system, we are extracting some source data. We and when I say that we are extracting the source data, it should be consistent, reliable. Your extraction process should be high performance. It should not be like you are taking hours to extract your data. Transformation, you need to transform certain kind of data so that it can be easily loaded into your maybe operational data warehouse, into your data warehouse, into your big data system, anywhere. So that is the complete ETL process. Okay, and why ETL plus Hadoop, or what is ETL plus Hadoop? Okay, so when we say that ETL with Hadoop, so how it is addressing the major business problem or the enterprise-wide problem, right? So in Hadoop, you can store your data, right? But how to work with that big data? So Talend provides solution for that. Talend has a unified platform, or Talend unified platform provides solution for each and everything. That is, may it be big data, may it be data integration, may it be data quality, may it be master data management, may it be enterprise service bus, may it be business process monitoring. So for each and every enterprise-wide solution, Talend has a enterprise-wide problem. Talend has a solution for that. So Talend is a one-stop solution. When we talk about integration with the big data, Talend works well with all of the major data platforms, big data platforms, may it be Hortonworks, MapR, Cloudera, Greenplum. Okay, you can do Uzi scheduling with Talend. You can create HBase tables. You can do or you can import or export data using Scoop. Everything is available with the Talend solution. And most important thing is that Talend is a open source tool. So you don't need to pay for the licenses. You don't need to buy that heavy infrastructure for Talend. That's the biggest advantage. With the Talend, it improves the efficiency of big data job design with graphical interface. Abstract and generate code, run transforms inside Hadoop. Native support for HDFS, Scoop, HBase, Mahout, Peg, Hive, and MapReduce code generate. It is Apache license 2.0 embedded in Hortonworks data platform, certified with Cloudera, MapR, and Greenplum. Okay, so as I mentioned that it could be any of the data platform. Talend provides solution for any of the big data platform. Talend provides solution for that. You can you can integrate it with the Scoop, HBase, Mahout, anything. When we run the ETL program or when we run the Talend program, it is basically generating a ETL code uh, or transformation code, which will in turn run on your Hadoop file system. So it is not something that Talend is working. Talend is generating the code, but that code will still go to your Hadoop file system and will be executed over there. So why Talend? Because the more connected the world becomes, the more quickly a business must adopt. So you can see into this screenshot, this is specifically for the Talend for big data. Here you can see that it provides support for each and everything, may it be HCatalog, HDFS, Hive, your MongoDB, Neo4j, Pig, everything. When I talk about this Talend Open Studio for data integration, it provides it has more than 800 plus connectors. That means it provides connectivity to all of your databases, may it be your Oracle, MySQL, Greenplum, Postgre, Access database, you name it, Talend provides solution for that. For the cloud connectivity, for the Amazon Redshift, everything. And if it does not has a connectivity, it provides you a JDBC connection, so that you can install a JDBC driver and you can still connect to that. You can perform your ETL operations. So connectivity is not at all a problem with the Talend, with any of the databases or with any of the data platforms. So when we say there are multiple ETL tools available in the market, so why Talend, right? Uh, Talend is the only graphical user interface tool which is capable enough to translate on an ETL job to a map reduce job. The Talend ETL job gets executed as a map reduce job on Hadoop and get the big data work done in minutes, right? So even though when we talk about this map reduce programming, right? So either you need to learn Java, do the map reduce programming and implement your logic over there. Whereas when you are doing this with the Talend for big data, Talend for big data tool, what will happen is that Talend is a GUI tool, that is a graphical user interface tool, where you just need to drag and drop the components, configure it properly, and that in turn will generate a map reduce code for you behind the scenes. That would be a Java code. So Talend is a Eclipse based tool, GUI tool. So it will generate a map reduce program for you. And when you are executing that Talend job, it will be executing a map reduce program or a map reduce job on the Hadoop side. Okay. This is a key innovation which helps to reduce entry barriers in big data technology and allows ETL job developers, beginners and advanced, to carry out data warehouse offloading to greater extent. Right. So when we talk about big data, either you have this typically a map reduce programmer who are working on this, whereas when we have this uh, data warehousing specialist or a data scientist who are good in data, they can work with the data or they can concentrate on the data by directly using this GUI tool, where you need only configuration, drag and drop, and that in turn will generate a Hadoop program or a map reduce program for you, and you can concentrate your time on the other stuff related to the data part. With its Eclipse-based graphical workspace, Talend Open Studio for Big Data enables the developer and data scientist to leverage Hadoop loading and processing technologies like HDFS, HBase, Hive, and Peg without having to write a Hadoop application code. So exactly, this is the same thing, that you do not need to worry about all these new things coming in, maybe Hive code, Peg scripting, HBase, HDFS architecture. Talend manages everything for you. You can still concentrate on your data part, analysis part, and Hadoop application seamlessly gets integrated within minutes using Talend. So once you configure your Talend job with the Hadoop ecosystem, so may it be your HBase, Hive, Pig, once that configuration is done, then everything is very easy, and that configuration takes only few minutes. It is not a tedious task. And once you get into that, you'll come to know that it is just a configuration thing, that you are providing value and Talend is doing work for you. Any questions till now? Cool, I could not see any. So why Talend? By simply selecting graphical components from a palette, arranging and configuring them, you can create Hadoop jobs. Right. So it is just that you need to choose a right component, and after that, after configuring, Talend is doing work for you. It could be a if we talk about this simple job where we are using multiple Hadoop components, it could load data into HDFS, that is Hadoop files, Hadoop distributed file system. Then use Hadoop pick to transform data into HDFS, load data into a Hadoop Hive based data warehouse, perform ELT aggregations in Hive, leverage Scoop to integrate relational database and Hadoop. So you can see that there are multiple components over here, but or the multiple operations, but this can be performed in a single Talend job. Right. Uh, there are a couple of questions. One from Rahin. is the Talend substitute of MapReduce. So Rahin, it is not correct to say that Talend is a substitute of MapReduce. Talend generates a MapReduce program for you, so you do not need to understand the MapReduce programming. Okay, so Talend in turn generates the MapReduce program. It is not substituting the MapReduce program. We have a question from Srinivas. Any other GUI tool available in the market? Yes, Srinivas. There are a couple of GUI tools available in the market. There is Informatica, there is Pentaho, Clover ETL, Microsoft provide ones. So yes, there are many GUI tools available in the market, but Talend is picking up in the market, and the reason is it is an open source tool and it provides you a good connectivity or good integration with the big data. How big is Pentaho in this area? There is a question from Satish. How big is Pentaho in this area? Is he a good competitor for Talend? Yes, Pentaho is also a good competitor. So if I talk about the ETL tools, this Informatica, Pentaho, Talend, these are these are available in the market and doing good. But as I said that Talend provides way more connectors and it is an open source tool. Spoon is the ETL tool from them. Right, from the Pentaho. But as I mentioned that why Talend is better in the market because it is open source and provide better connectivity for the big data and the other operations, transformation operations. Okay, when we talk about Talend and Hadoop integration, it is we have Talend Open Data Solutions. When integrated with the Hadoop, it is equivalent to Talend Open Studio for big data, where you can perform all your big data operations or Hadoop operations using Talend. So talking more about the Talend Hadoop integration, for Hadoop applications to be truly accessible for your organization, they need to be smoothly integrated into your overall data flows. Talend Open Studio for Big Data is the ideal tool for integrating Hadoop applications into your broader data architecture. Talend provides more built-in connector components than any other data integration solution available, with more than 800 plus connectors that make it easy to read from or write to any major file format, database or packaged enterprise application. Right. So when we talk about Hadoop integration or a big data, most of the enterprises, most of the organizations are having huge amount of data. They want to integrate themselves with the Hadoop applications, but the problem that current enterprises are facing is that how to consume that data, how to load that data. So Talend provides solution for that. It need to integrate into your current data architecture, right? You cannot have a Hadoop application separately sitting into your enterprise, right? It has to be integrated with your broader data architecture, and Talend provides solution for that. And as I was mentioning this before as well, that Talend has more than 800 plus connectors. So when we are talking about reading it from the multiple sources, writing it to the multiple sources, doing different kind of transformation, normalization, denormalization, slowly changing dimensions, everything, Talend provides end-to-end solution. May it be from FTP, may it be reading from XML, JSON, web services, Talend provides solutions for that. Okay, for example, in Talend Open Studio for big data, you can use drag and drop configurable components to create data integration flows that move data from delimited log file into Hadoop Hive, perform operations in Hive, and extract data from Hive into a MySQL database or Oracle, Sybase, SQL Server, and so on. That is any of the relational database, right? So let's say you have some log files that you want to analyze. To analyze that log file, first, that because the log file size is huge, probably you want to transfer it to the Hadoop file system, or you have that file already in the Hadoop file system. You can perform a Hive operation on top of that. You can extract data from Hive into the MySQL database, and you can use it as a relational database. And then you can generate reporting or do a business intelligence on top of your data. So Talend provides solution for all of this. Talend Hadoop integration. More and more enterprise wanted to scale up in Hadoop big data technologies with use of existing pool of talent and reduce overspending on MapReduce programmer, which is pretty new and expensive. High rise of job trend in data scientist data analysis. Talent also comes with the basic BI transformation, which reduces your dependency on simple Excel dashboard or BI tools. Gartner is featuring Talent is the best technology in the market for data integration and big data. Okay, so I think I briefly talked about this, that enterprises do want to go to the Hadoop or big data technologies, but as most of us are aware that getting a MapReduce programmer in the market is not very easy. They are highly paid, they are pretty new in the market and very expensive, and that's the reason where Talent comes into the picture. So with your basic ETL skills, you can transform your big data or data from your Hadoop system. Okay, so there is more need, there is high trend of jobs in data scientist and data analysis. And with the Talent, not only you can extract, transform and load your data, you can also do some of the BI transformations as well. So you can generate some of the dashboards, and probably when you get into more detail of the Talent, you'll see that there are certain BI components as well. So you do not need to extract data and get into the Excel and do all the transformation. Talent also does a business intelligence on top of that to some extent. Okay, Gartner is featuring Talent as the best technology in the market for data integration and big data because it provides a seamless integration with the big data with very little knowledge about the Hadoop system or the actual programming logic. Three major players in the big data industry, that is Hortonworks, Cloudera, Mapr, have already tied up with the Talent for big data solutions. So these are the major players, that is Hortonworks, Cloudera, Mapr. So for all of them, you have a solution, or they have tied up with the Talent. So you have complete solution for that, and mostly any level person in the industry can quickly get started on this without any prerequisite. So there's a common question if you are going for any of the course, or if you are looking for any of the programming, that what are the prerequisites. So if I want to learn the big data, what are the prerequisites? So maybe yes, if you are going to learn MapReduce programming or something, then probably you would need Java. But with this Talent for big data, you do not need anything. You can start with your basic knowledge or without any knowledge on the databases or the ETL, right? Because you don't need to do anything on the big data side. Talent does that for you. So there's a common myth. I don't know Java programming. How would this course help me learn and excel in big data? The biggest advantage you get with Talent for big data is that there is no prerequisite to learn this concept. Whether you come with prior knowledge of Hadoop or not, this course has some or the other best thing to offer. Okay, there are a couple of questions. Rahin, does the Talent process all types of all type of data like unstructured, semi-structured? Because MapReduce does it. Yes, Rahin. So Talent does process the unstructured, semi-structured, or a structured data for you, like MapReduce does. So this is what Talent says, that learn big data not in months but in minutes. Sounds too good, but true. And yes, believe me, that is true, that you do not need to spend months in learning the big data. You can learn that in minutes. Okay, uh, go from zero to big data in under 10 minutes. Get big data without coding. The Talent Big Data Sandbox is ready to run virtual environment that includes Talent platform for big data, popular Hadoop distributions, and data examples. Okay, so if you go to this Talent website, that it provides certain sandboxes for the big data. So if you talk about Hortonworks Cloudera, that comes with the pre-installed Talent inside those virtual machines. Okay, so you just need to go to the Talend. You can connect to that and you can get started. There is no you do not need to know any of the programming or coding behind that. There is a question from Srinivas. Can we integrate Hadoop with PHP kind of language? Um, Srinivas, I'm not much into this PHP language, so not very much sure about that. And with this virtual machines or the sandboxes available on the Talend site, they provide certain examples. They provide good connectivity and everything, so you can learn within minutes. So who can use Talend for data analysis? So is it just for the developers or it is just for the architects? No, it is for the everyone. Developers can use this, leads can use this, professionals can use this, even managers can use this. So it is not that only technical person or a person having a background of the big data or about the ETL can only use this, because it is all graphical thing. So once we get into the hands-on, or once I get into this demo mode, I'll show you that how easy it is to configure data or to read data from the sources. So we are just about to see the bigger picture. Let us all see quickly what Talend can do in minutes, reducing the man hours and doing map reduce programming in Hadoop. Okay, so let's get into the demo. So let me do this. So in this section, you will be able to see the true power of big data. So when we talk about this Talend with big data and integration, there are a couple of case studies that we can do with that. So right now I'm showing you this frequency analysis, reach and frequency. So when we talk about the big data, the most common requirement is that what are the most spoken words, how I can analyze my data, right? So I created a dummy file which has some unstructured data. So it is just about the big data. So everyone talks about big data, most hype talk. So in, let's say it is just a kind of blog, it is kind of a log file, and I want to read from this and to understand that how many times we are speaking about big data, right? So it is analyzing your unstructured data and to see the trend that how frequently you are talking about the big data. And you can see that uh, analyzing this unstructured data, I'm intentionally not using this Hadoop components for, over here, because I'm working this on my local machine and that will take time to run that. But similarly, it can be done with the Hadoop components as well. So you can see that reading the output and getting reading the unstructured data and getting the count of that is very easy with the Talend. And if I can show you that what I did over here is that I read my input data. I split my data into the different parts. So that is how I am reading my unstructured data. After that, reading my unstructured data, I am looking for the big data values. Okay, so it could be the case that it is more of the data quality thing, that it could be in the lower case, it could be into the upper case. I am transforming that, and after that I am doing an aggregation to see that how many times we are using a particular buzzword, and that is how I'm getting my count. So this is a basic transformation, but you can see that it is just use of couple of components that you can derive this. However, if you go behind the scene, that as I mentioned, that Talend is a Eclipse based tool based on Java. So if you go behind the scenes, you can see that it generated some 2000 lines of code for you. Okay, 2200 lines of code. And believe me, configuring all these things did not took me more than 5 minutes or 10 minutes, okay, to do this kind of analysis. Whereas you can imagine that writing a Java code of 2000 lines is definitely going to take time for you. Thank you, Rahin. So this is how you can do a this is how you can use Talend for for getting the buzzword for analyzing the unstructured data. Okay, this is more typically to the big data or analyzing the unstructured data. We'll come to the structured data as well. So addressing about this, talking about this uh, bank industry case study, addressing the challenges in the growing business with the use of flexible data analysis, hybrid big data tool. We used a completely unstructured log data which need to be structured, then analyzed, and then business sense has to come from it. And imagine if all of that has to happen on top of Hadoop. Let's see the magic. Right. So when we are talking about the banking log files or any of the log file or any of the unstructured data, to make a sense out of it takes some time. And when we are doing on the Hadoop system, yes, you need to understand that particular programming language. Okay, so this so when we talk about the use case, it is not only a question of a standard ETL tool or how best it can offer integration features. The question is what else it has to offer for current pain areas in enterprise level, so that without any extra efforts like resource investment, skills training, license investment, we can still manage all of that in one tool. And yes, that is possible to some extent. So when we talk about analyzing any tool, so the case study or the demo which I showed you, that can be done in Hadoop as well. It is not that only Talend couldn't do that. But when we talk about selecting a particular tool or talking this at the enterprise level, it is not that how you can do that. It is more like what is the resource investment, what are the skills required, what are the training costs, what are the licenses costs. So this works well with the Talend, that with the less resource investment, with the minimum skills. If you know the Talend well, it is an open source tool, not much of the training is required. As it is an open source, no license is required. That can be done with the Talend. Okay, and normally the Talend setup that we require for this Talend for big data training is that we normally work with the Hortonworks data platform, Hortonworks Sandbox, that is version 1.3. We uses this Talend Open Studio for big data 5.5, Talend Open Studio for data integration version 5.6, Windows 7 machine, that is 64-bit OS. It works on Mac as well. It it works on Mac as well, so that is not a problem. But this is typically to the Windows machine, and around 4 GB of RAM with i3 processor would be enough for generating this kind of transformation or generating a bigger transformation. And if you see that all of these things are open sources, so you do not need to purchase any of the license for this. May it be Talend, may it be Hortonworks Sandbox. And this is how your logic will work. So uh, let me show you that log file. That so we have this visa trace log file. And this is the kind of project that we can do with the Talend, that having this log file, you can analyze that what was the transfer amount, what was the transaction amount, what was the visa, what was the card type. It is a visa type. What are the messages? What is the PAN number? So this is just a mask data. This is not the real data, but this is how you can analyze that how many transactions were there at what point in time. All those things can be analyzed with the Talend program. Now coming to the another important thing is about the salary trend. So if you see a national salary trend from the indeed.com, you can see the trend of the salary, which is increasing like anything, right? and this is mainly because of the adoption of open source ETL tools in the market. So if I talk about some of the customers who are utilizing this Talend ETL tool, are Bank of America, Citibank, Allianz, ING, Thomas and Cook, Lufthansa. So all these are the big companies. And the why I started with the banking with the banks first is that when bank are using this ETL tools, open source ETL tools, that means it is performing well, it is consistent, it is reliable, it is secure. So Talend has all those features. You can get into this uh, websites, and this blog and presentation will be available to you in 24 hours. Apart from that, I'll also show you one of the basic mapping, that how we can analyze or how we can merge the or transform the data from different sources. So if you are from the ETL background or know some of the database or the SQLs, so you might know this, that it is very easy to transform data using SQLs. You can do, you can write functions, you can manipulate data, you can join multiple tables. But when it comes to this getting data from the multiple sources, so when I say that reading it from the log file, reading it from the text file, and loading it into the database, it becomes very difficult, right? uh, and Talend ETL provides solution for that, right? So you can analyze your Excel file, you can analyze your XML, you can analyze the text file. So if I look for this, you can see that I have a big customer XML file. It has customer ID, name, address, state, another ID. So all this, I have around 5,000 customers. You can see that there's more than 20 30,000 lines of file that I have. So reading from the XML file is itself is a very big task or a tough job. And I have similarly a state file. It is a hash delimited file where I have a state ID, code, and state name. Okay, and you can see that here also I am having this state ID. To join XML file with the text file is a kind of tedious process, right? But when I am working with the Talend, it is a easy task, because it only treat that as a input source. Okay, and getting the data configured is easy with Talend. So let me show you output first. So what I'm doing over here is that I'm using this customer input file as my source, and I'm using this state as my lookup source. Okay, I'm generating my own customer ID. I'm combining customer name, or I'm taking customer name, customer address from the customer source, and I'm taking this state code and state name from the state lookup file. Okay, and then I want this to transform this as a code comma or state name comma code. So that way I can do this in Talend. I want to get the current date, so that is required in most of the ETL process or into the data warehouse, that you need to capture the time that when your record is generated. So I'm capturing time as well. Okay, and that is from the two different sources. One is from the XML file and one is from the text file. And now I'm just getting this output onto the Talend console. So you can see that after running this, it is generating output for me. I'll do same thing into the Excel file so that data visualization become easy for you. But I have this. Sorry, it completed. And you can see that it read or it inserted 500 rows. So this time what I was doing is that I was reading from the XML file, I'm reading from the text file, I'm doing similar kind of transformation, and this time instead of the writing it onto the console, I wrote this into the Excel file. So you can see that use three different sources, three different file types, reading it from the XML and the text file, writing it into the XLS. Okay, and now here you can see that my data is ready in another format. Here you can see that this is the current date. So I am into this EST time zone. It is showing EST time zone and date in the ISO format, that is YYDD This I can do the combination of this two, or I can do the concatenation using Talend. And yes, believe me, there are multiple things. So even though if you see in my customer file, ID started from 1 or 2, I started it from the uh, I added 1000, or I can start it from another random number using Talend. So all those things are using Talend. So there are a couple of questions over here. Rahin, I do understand that MapReduce is time consuming, but wouldn't that be more of convenient because you have to do uh, reverse reading processing? Uh, yes, Rahin. That is more easy, but the problem is that this is my local PC, so I need to start the virtual machine. I need to connect to that. That would be the best way to analyze any unstructured data. So sorry if I was not that much clear. I'm not saying that MapReduce is not the best way to do that, but the reason why I'm doing the using the normal Talend component is that that is easy to configure. There's a question from there's a question from Srinivas. Can we get that output into any other format like TXT, XML, etc.? Yes, Srinivas. We can get this output in any format. May it be XLS, may it be TXT, or I can load that directly into the databases as well. And that's the reason I use different type of sources. So if you see into this customer XML file, you can see that it is just a mapping of the XML file, and it is reading data for you. Similarly, with the states file or the normal file, you need to read the file, and after that you need to configure the schema, and you can do any kind of transformation. So you can add more column, you can do addition, you can concatenate a few of the things. Anything is possible and available with Talend. There is a question from Ankur. Can we send the output file to .tde file of Tableau or to any of the Tableau template? So no, Ankur, I guess that is not possible. How you can work with the Tableau is that you can generate it into an Excel file, or you can load it into a database, and then Tableau can generate its own TDE extract out of that. Because again, that is more specific to a Tableau tool, that TDE format. It is not a generic format. Any questions around this, around the features of the Tableau? There is a question from Satish. Can you show me once again how you loaded this Excel? Sure, Satish. So what we did in this transformation is that we had two input sources. One is from the XML file and one is from the text file. And I did certain kind of transformation. This is a very basic transformation for the demo purpose, that how we can get data from two sources, how we can join two things, that is based on the ID. I can get this ID and code, and how I'm doing the transformation. And what I'm doing is that I'm getting this transform code into the output Excel file. So here I had this output Excel file. If it would not have been a probably if I don't want to store that into the Excel file, I can store that into a text file into a database. I need to have that particular component. available over there. Okay, so let me do this thing. Okay, now here you can see that we have a palette available, and by and in palette you can see there are multiple components. So I was mentioning that it provides support for most of the databases. Now you can see the list of the databases. So it starts from AS400, Access, Amazon Redshift, DB Generic. So I can use any of the component over here to push the output. So Satish, to your question, I'm running this job, and this is how all this source data is getting transformed and getting loaded into the Excel file. This time I'm getting an error, and it also gives you a very good way to analyze the error, that the process cannot access the file because it is currently being used by the another file. So because I'm using this currently, right? Let me run this again, and this time it worked fine. Do we have any modeling concept before developing any data movement flow? Uh, there is a question from Ankur. Do we have any modeling concept before developing any data movement flow? So, Ankur, if you are talking about the data flow diagram or the data modeling approach, so Talend is not for that. Talend is more for the ETL perspective, that is doing extract, transformation, and loading. However, Talend does provide a solution for you, which is into the business model thing. And in this business model, what you can do is that in this business model, what you can do is that you can design a business model. So that will not be a data model, but how your business model will work, right? So it could be something like you are having some MySQL database as a source file, you'll be having some mainframe data, and it is a overall data structure. How you are getting your XML files, flat files, how it is connecting to the Talend ETL, what all transformation that you can do. So it's more of a overall picture that you can create this, and this can be shared across with the architects, with the business owners, that how your ETL process will work. Okay, any other question around this, around the utility of Talend or with the integration with the big data? There's one from Santosh. Business model does look interesting. Is that model auto created with the job design or something we have to design manually? No, Santosh, this is something that we have to create manually. So typically how it works is that before getting into the job design, you need to have some kind of business model, right? So maybe when I want to design an enterprise data warehouse, or when I want to provide a solution for this ETL solution, I need to know that what will be my sources, how it will be consumed, what all transformation need to be done. So it is more like a business model, is more like a high level picture that you can create and get it approved with the data architects and the business owners, that uh, how this will work. Whereas ETL is more of the implementation of your business model, that how your transformation will work. Definitely ETL will be a much detailed thing. Business model is just a high level overview. There's a question. I hope that answers your question, Santosh. There's a question from Sami Kumar. If we are using open version instead of enterprise version, what we will not be able to do in Talend? Major points. Right. So Sami, the major thing which you will not be getting with the open source is like uh, enterprise version provides you version repository. It provides you integration with the SVN. It provides you multi-user login that is needed for the enterprise, whereas it is just on the local machine that you can install it. Uh, Apart from that, there are certain components that you can have something like dynamic schema. There are certain components, certain kind of features which are available with the enterprise version, not available with the open studio. With the enterprise version, you get this talent administration center, which is used for the scheduling of your talent jobs, scheduling and monitoring of your talent jobs. And so there are a couple of things, but from a individual user perspective, we get most of the features with the Talend Open Studio. Even using open version, we can move into production. Yes, we can very well move into the production with the open version, because ultimately it is just a Java code. So like you are running any Java program in the production environment, similarly you can directly move this uh, Talend program. It will run as a Java code, and it does provide you a flexibility of uh, that you can generate a shell script or a batch file to execute those programs, and that can be scheduled either via cron scheduler or a Windows scheduler. Okay. What are all the different data quality operations we can perform using Talend? Okay, so Santosh, when I talk about this data quality, Talend provides couple of options. One is that you have a separate product that is Talend for data quality, which where you have an exhaustive list of data quality things. Whereas with the current version, you have certain uh, data quality components. It is into this add CRC row, change record capture, change file encoding, interval match, replace the data, replace list, doing a schema compliance. So getting a unique data. And apart from that, when we talk about the data quality thing, it is quite a vast topic, right? So you can also do data quality using the transformation. So either you want to remove the duplicates, you want to remove the null records, you can do this using your transformation job as well. And apart from that, Talend does provides a complete suite for that. Can you please talk about the Talend products available? Sure. So I did cover that. That Talend has a complete list of products, and out of which, if you see that we will be using, or what we majorly concentrate is on the big data and the data integration, whereas it has also support for the data quality, that is maintaining the quality of your data. That in itself is a separate product. For the master data management, that is maintaining your master data or the dimension data. For the enterprise service bus, for the business process monitoring. So Talend provides solution for all those things. I hope that is okay, okay, Satish, because if I get into the detail, then that itself is a big topic. Any other question more specific around this Talend or big data, Talend or big data or its integration? And yes, when I say that it provides support for all the data quality enterprise service, so you can see, even though I'm saying that we have a separate product, but it has something for the enterprise service bus as well in this. Does this also support profiling of data rather than we designing a job for a design a job for identifying repetitive pattern? Is there an approach like just submit a table source for profiling and get the statistical information? Uh, Yes, Santosh, but again, for that you need to create a job. So probably you want to profile data for 10 of the tables. So probably what you can create is that you can create a single job which will um, act as your single source, and then you can provide a list of the table names, or your sources, and it will profile data for you. And again, profile is so with the profiling, if you want to see the data quality, data count for anything, then that has to be worked into the detail. But yes, it provides a solution for the data profiling. Thank you, Ankur. And feel free to provide your feedback for this webinar. May it be good, bad, needs improvement, helpful, not helpful. Anything would be great. Can you provide any details? So, Srinivas, there's a we would be sharing this recording and the details. And Edureka has at Edureka we do provide this blogs and other materials, so that can be checked. And yes, if you're talking about the about this with the session, then yes, you'll be getting this when you enroll for this course. You will be getting lifetime access, uh, documents, lot of hands-on exercise and everything. Thank you guys. Thanks for your time.